Alright, so I get another opportunity to talk about the whole way that Invites for Worlds is done. Hi everyone, welcome to another video. You can see me looking to my right, which is your left. Yeah, it's not mirrored, but I'm just looking at the other screen. Another video here. This is something I came across on Twitter, and it harkens back to something that I've been talking about before and I want to talk about again, because why not? This is Ethan. I'm gonna definitely butcher the name. Heggie. Ethan Heggie. Obviously very well known for the tournaments he used to run, which were called Hedgester, I believe. Yeah, Hegster. TCG player and caster, of course, as well for Pokemon. Very good caster, I might add. Uploaded an interesting video, and there are some. Oh, it's two of two. Oh, Jesus Christ! So it's two of two videos, and then there's actually four. That one's over a minute. We're just going to quickly hit the main video, the number one, which is only 2 minutes 20 long. Okay, we'll go for it anyway. And desktop audio. I'm going to plug that up, and we will go from it.
Hey guys, I just want to give some raw thoughts of the absolute madness that just went down.
So if you can't hear, it's absolute madness.
But it's just I haven't gotten this mad playing Pokemon in like a long time.
Very mad
I'll
playing.
pretty much just quickly describe the situation. So I was playing Miraidon today.
Alright, so he was playing Miraidon. To my knowledge, that's the new stuff that's not out yet. I am interested to know where he's playing this. Maybe it's in Japan. Maybe he lives in Japan. I genuinely don't know. Interested to know though. That's the first thing. Playing Miraidon.
And we're playing the mirror match, and
it's a mirror match.
I
Okay.
essentially
Trying to build the
two
picture.
Regieleki VMAX, or I evolved two Regieleki.
Okay. Essentially, okay. I'm just because I have listened through this before, but when people talk shop and I can't see it, sometimes I don't quite get it. So he's got two Regieleki VMAX in play.
VMAX, and then I use Serena, keeping an Ultra Ball in my hand, drawing four, playing the Ultra Ball, grabbing the Regieleki VMAX, and essentially evolving it.
So I'm confused now because I'm sure there were. Okay, maybe he evolved one, and then used Serena, and then Ultra Ball the other.
Process of maintaining my board, or essentially like moving my Pokemon around. The Pokemon ends up in the discard pile, right?
Alright, so then for some reason he says for the process of maintaining the board, Pokemon will move around. I don't fully understand that, but hey ho. Somehow a Regieleki VMAX entered the discard pile.
And so I attack with Raikou to deal 220 plus the additional 90 damage, which knocks out the Regieleki VMAX.
Okay, so the opponent's got Regieleki VMAX in play. Raikou, Raikou with the additional damage from Regieleki VMAX does extra damage because it's basic. Should knock out the Regieleki VMAX.
When I look down, my opponent's calculating damage, and so I'm looking at them and I'm saying, why are you calculating damage? And he's like, well, you don't have Regieleki in play. And I see that it's like in between, like halfway in between where my discard pile is. So I explained to him, I'm like, look, you and I both saw it get evolved. It got put in the discard pile because things got adjusted. So
okay, so the it looks like the opponent was like basically saying no. The Regieleki VMAX was not in play. Yeah, I don't know.
Pretty much the judge got called over, and essentially my opponent technically sharked me because we both know that the Pokemon was grabbed, the Pokemon was played down, and essentially said, yeah, the Pokemon is technically in your hand now instead, not in the discard pile where it was claimed to be, and not evolved in the Pokemon, but it's in your hand. And since you entered attack phase, you're done.
So. Wow, so because of the position of the Regieleki VMAX, the judge decided that technically he hasn't evolved the Regieleki VMAX. It just, instead of being in the hand, was floating around on the table, apparently. And now that he's entered attack phase, he's not actually able to evolve the Regieleki V into the VMAX.
So I don't know if that's correct ruling. Personally,
it sounds like a bad ruling.
In play, there's no reason it shouldn't be in my hand if it's technically evolved. But regardless of if it's a correct decision or not, like, I mean, this is just again me like 10 minutes afterwards. I mean, my chance to get qualified for Worlds is now gone. I've lost my invite now. I feel terrible too because was so angry afterwards to that, to still just lose the game to whatever I lost the game to. It just feels like a blur at this point. But I'm obviously more just disappointed in myself because of course it was all avoidable and I am the one to blame at the end of
All right, so it looks like, unfortunately, that because of what happened, the invite to the World Championships is now gone for Ethan. I don't fully understand that. Surely, if you have enough points, you have enough points. Can they go down? I don't actually know. Or was he banking on going further? Maybe saying because he should have won the game but did not. That was the world's invite taken off him. Anyway,
the day. Not the judges, not whatever. I definitely don't know about the call, and definitely if there's some judges or someone, please tell me if that's correct.
so it
Maybe I'll have
goes
a little
on
bit more peace
to
of mind.
not say that the judge was at fault. I definitely disagree with that ruling, certainly for the purpose of why would you leave bits of your hand on the table while you're playing? You know, it sort of falls on the opponent as well. Why you got to be such a piece of shit? Yeah, I mean that's awful. That's pretty bad. Um, I I'm aware that Pokemon now is a lot bigger than when I first started playing it, and there's more at stake. But why you got to be a scumbag with it? You know, it's not so big. It's not so big that you have to do this sort of thing. We'd be like, oh well, it's half on, not half in the discard pile. So technically, it's in. Technically, it's not. Technically, it's not in play. You know, just why you got to be like that? Like, for Christ's sake, it's the Pokemon trading card game. It sucks, and it's annoying that this sort of thing happens. Now, Ethan does go and say it's his fault. Yes. Do you know what? Blame does fall on Ethan, unfortunately. What do you what's got to go through your mind to get to the point where you play so haphazardly that you cause that to happen? You got to stop and take a breath. You know, smell the ball sack. Just and just play with proper choreographed intent to the physical movements of the actual card themselves. This has come up before. We've seen it before in tournaments on stream where the player's rushing or this and that, and then just ends up, I don't know, dropping decks, flying all over the place. I've done it. Right, I fumble when I shuffle. You know, it sucks. We shouldn't be at this point. So that's number one. All right, that's number one. It should not be coming down to that. It's silliness. It's absolute silliness. I've said it time and time again. I mean, it's one of the good things about the Pokemon Online game is that you can't make those errors. Obviously, you can misclick and throw things around that you don't mean to. Been there, done that. Very annoying. Yeah, but I mean, this is something that really doesn't need to happen. It also doesn't need to happen, of course, I've said it before, but that the player would be that much of a scumbag about it. Now, this is only from one angle, I should say. Maybe the other player has a different memory of the event. Fine, not saying that's not the case. But I also want to move on to the other issue here, in that this has cost him the World's invite. I do and I don't get the CP system, the championship point system. I've just been looking here about the. I don't know if this is the right website. It might be, but this talks about the. No, that's if I just go back, here we go. Yeah, so championship points now. The points thing first actually came into effect. I'm gonna say like 2011, that sort of area. I was playing at that point as well, and I didn't really care to understand it then, and I don't really care for it now. Regional championships and special events, best finish limit 6. Play points. So what are play points then? What do they give you? Because that's different to championship points. You have to have a certain amount of play points and championship points, I assume. Best limit finish, I assume that's the best 6 of those regional events. Good luck getting 6 regionals these days. Bloody hell, I can't even get to one tournament. It just gets filled up instantly. And that's one of the other issues. I'm sort of putting myself onto tangents here, but I'm just going to do a quick old man back in my day. But yeah, back in my day, as it were, you could win a city championships and get an invite to the nationals. You could win the nationals and you'd get an invite to worlds. You win the worlds, you win the worlds. It is possible. It was doable. I don't think it ever was done. I don't know, but you could win the world championships with 3 tournaments. Only 3, right? And the advantage of that is that it draws in the player that can't afford to travel very much, both financially and in their time. And it also just in that, particularly in that financial respect, it opens up the opportunity for all players to have a chance. What we've got now is when you put a stream on, it's always the same. Well, not always, but mostly the same players that somehow magically are able to get registered for tournaments, and there are loads of players out there, right? Myself and a lot of people. I mean, there was maybe like 8 or 10 of us that wanted to go to the Liverpool regionals that happened in January, and I think there was one guy managed to get a ticket because I think he was the only one that actually knew about the day the registration happened. It seemed like you had to be on Twitter at the right day to be able to get that. I don't know, but the point is that it's pricing out the majority of players for what is essentially supposed to be like a hobby. Obviously, it's competitive, but it should be a competitive hobby. I don't understand what the advantage is here for Pokemon, for the players to have this system where those who have the money and the time to travel every weekend all around the different places. I mean, let me give you an example, and this isn't calling him out because I know him personally. He's a great guy. There he is. Nitish. So Nitish Dulab. He does stand-up comedy. Who knew? He is a player. He's been playing for donkey's years. Oh yeah, he was on. I believe he was on Beauty and the Geek. Yeah, he was. There it is. Yeah. International recruiter, top 22 EU TCG player. So these are the tournaments that I believe he's been to. Oh, he's going to. Bloody hell. So these are the tournaments he's going to between February and June. Internationals Melbourne. Regional. Where's Bochum? Bochum. Let's have a look. Bochum. Bochum, Germany. Okay, so Germany. Perth, so back to America. Oh, 50-50 ongoing. Vancouver. What is that? Utrecht. Utrecht. Dutch. Okay, so Holland. Charlotte, NC. NC is that state? I assume it's a state. Fort Wayne, London, Malmo, Sydney. Traveling around for all these tournaments. I don't know if he's qualified or not for the Worlds. It's a lot. Man, I can't afford to do that. I ain't got time for that. You might say, well, maybe you're just not quite dedicated enough to go to the Pokemon Trading Card Game World Championships. Well, once upon a time, actually, you didn't have to be. You could still go, you could enjoy it, and you could still be top level players and rub shoulders with top level players without having to go through that level of travel. And I do think, again, I mean, I know of a lot of players that just can't do that. You just can't do that. It's crazy. And it wouldn't be such an issue if there was more local opportunities to earn these points. If you had a city, well, we've got 2 card shops now in Exeter that are, I don't know, registered as proper league places. So we've got 2 places there for a tournament. I mean, that's only in Exeter. We've got loads of different places around Devon or Cornwall and Bristol, around the UK, where you could have tournaments and earn CP to be able to qualify you for bigger tournaments or money towards bigger tournaments, to be sent off and to play internationally or nationally, right? But right now, we're just having these regionals. I mean, for God's sake, can I just... It's not a regional, is it, right? it's an international. It's just loads of internationals. They're all basically the same. It's limited in numbers by how many people the venue can hold, really, but it's all just international players all the time. If it's a regional, surely it should be people only in, well, it should be mainly for the people in the region. You should have, let's just think about the United Kingdom. South of England, southwest of England, west of England, northwest of England, north of England, northeast of England, east of England, southeast of England, Midlands, north of Wales, southern Wales, south Scotland, north of Scotland, and the Republic of Ireland, right? You should have actual regional tournaments. Do you know what? Why stick them on the same day? Then you go to the one in your region, or have them, the same kind of weekend. It's not a regional if you have one tournament in the whole of UK. That's a national. That's a national tournament just by default. Going to call. Oh well, we're going to start our city championships up. We're going to have Devon City Championships. Yeah, we're going to have Somerset City. It's not. It's just not city championships, is it? That would be a county championships. Great one as well. Which I think you could, states really. We've done those before, states. But in the UK we don't have states. We have counties. But yeah, that's the point. Is that just if you're going to have this system, the system works better when you have more tournaments to work with, and you don't have sort of one place for 10 players all trying to get in. I mean, for God's sake, it's like trying to buy a PS5 on release. Like, it's just bloody ridiculous, isn't it? Every single tournament that happens is absolutely absurd. And I think overall, I mean, that's the mix of what's really wrong at the moment with where we are with Pokemon. If the system was different and you said, right, the top 16 players of this regional, they're going to go to national, or the top 16 players of this tournament are going to earn a trip to the World Championships, right? Now let's say the top 10 of those have already earned it. Well, that's fine. Those 10, you just go lower down that, you just keep going, right? Even with earned his place by now, guaranteed he would have earned it by now with that kind of system. We don't have that system. It's unfortunate, but I do think that Pokemon should go back to that system for the reasons I've just listed. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I think we talked to death about this. I'm sure I'll talk about this again at a later date in the distant future. Haven't done much Pokemoning recently. I've been making sure I could pass an exam and things like that. So, yeah. Anyway, we're probably going to get back to playing some more games going forward, getting ready for Scarlet and Violet. See you again next time, everyone. Let me know your opinions in the comment section. Share this about as well to get more opinions on it. Chat about it with your friends. Let me know what they think about the whole situation. Yeah, I'll see you again next time. Cheers.